Shalom, everybody. This is Papa Deva back to you with real stories, real people, real testimony. I believe everyone is keeping well in the Lord. Like I said to you in my previous video, you are covered with prayers. Yes, I pray for all my viewers for their financial situation to change, for their good health, for their traveling, for your family, and whatever the God leads me in my heart, and I pray for you all. Be blessed with these prayers. Well, I got some good news to share. One sister in the Philippines, she needed a lot of money to go for a brain tumor surgery. So we all sat, we all just prayed, and after a few days, God answered our prayers. A good Samaritan volunteered himself to take care of all the bills for the surgery. Our God is a good God. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Okay, to our main story today. In the recent days, I've been meeting friends and I always ask them, how's your job? And I almost got the same answer from everybody. I'm stressed out. I'm worked out. I'm looking for a new job. I can't take it anymore. These are the answers I get from there. I do believe these type of things happen because of today's organization. They want more and more out of their employees. So people really get stressed out. Many also resign. But in the same time, I also met some friends who went through the same situation, but these guys managed to come out of the situation. That's good news. Okay, I got a story today to tell you that happened before Christ. There was a man by the name of Jacob, and he had a son whose name was Joseph. And Jacob always made colorful dress for his son Joseph. And Joseph was a dreamer, and Joseph can interpret dream. He always told his brothers and his father that one day they all will bow down to him. That he's telling himself he'll be a leader and they all will bow down to him. The brothers actually hated him because of this, that they decided to kill him. But later they changed their mind. They sold him as a slave to the land of Egypt. An Egyptian army officer who served the king bought him and he became his slave master. Joseph actually was a God-fearing guy, a honest and a trustworthy person, so much so that his master trusted him with his properties and his estates. So he was in charge of that property and the estate. Joseph also was a very handsome-looking, fine-looking guy. One day, the master's wife tried to seduce him, but Joseph ran away. But when the master returned, the master's wife told the master that she said Joseph tried to rape her, and the master got angry. Without investigation, he dumps Joseph into the prison. But Joseph found favor with God and man. Even in the prison wardens put Joseph in charge of other prisoners. You see, because of God's favor, he was in charge of other prisoners. One day, the king's servant, two people, one was a baker, one was a butler, were also put into the prison. And these two persons, they had dream in the same day, and the next day they related the dream to Joseph. So Joseph interpreted the dream, and Joseph said, the butler will go back to work, the baker will be beheaded in three days' time. True enough, in 3 days' time, the baker was beheaded, and the butler goes back to the king. But before he was going back to the king, Joseph asked a favor. Joseph told the butler, when you go back and serve the king, please tell him about me, that I can interpret dreams here. And the butler goes, but the butler forgets about Joseph. After 2 years, the king has a dream. Now, the king calls the best men to his palace and tells about the dream, and he asked these men to interpret the dream, but none could interpret the dream. At that moment, that butler remembers Joseph, and he tells the king how he met him in the prison and how he interpreted the dream. Immediately, the king orders Joseph to be brought out. Joseph was brought before the king, and the king relates the dream to Joseph, and Joseph interprets the dream. The dream is about for the next 7 years how the land of Egypt will prosper, and after the 7 years, there will be another 7 years where they will have economic downfall. Not only Joseph interprets the dream, he also will tell the king how to manage the economic downfall. So, how God gave him wisdom, and he tells the king how to solve the economic downfall. The king was so impressed that immediately he made Joseph the prime minister of Egypt. Amazing, right? And after some time, when there was really economic downfall, many people will come to Egypt to collect food because they had stock. Because of Joseph's wisdom, he stockpiled a lot of food. Even his family, his brothers came to him. They didn't know it was Joseph, the prime minister. They bowed down to him for food. And later, Joseph introduced himself. He tells them he's the brother, and they all live happily there in the same land. But now, I want to take you and recap the story. When Joseph was a leader in the making, when he tells his brother that they all will bow down, there was jealousy. So if you're working in an organization, when you are a leader in the making, you will have competition. But be careful. If there's jealousy, please be careful. Jealousy is dangerous. Jealousy can lead to death. People can murder people because of jealousy. So please, always have a healthy competition in an organization. Okay? Then moving on from that, he was sold as a slave. So you may be thinking, what's that got to do with me? I'm not a slave. There's no more slavery. But I tell you, it is still going on. Slavery is still going on. How? When you work in a big organization where they are really a goal-oriented company and they have to meet target, the employer, your organization can push you until you won't have time for your wife, you won't have time for your children, you won't have time for yourself, you'll be busy working and you'll become a slave in your company. So you be careful. You need to learn how to manage your time. All right? Now moving on from that, the master's wife tried to seduce him. Okay? In reality, today, in many organizations, they like to make deals while clubbing, or they call it entertainment. While clubbing, they are provided with alcohol, and many times they also provide with women to conclude the deals. And I advise you, these are not healthy deals. Deals should be made properly in an office, not while clubbing. So you need to come out of it. You need to think twice. If you are doing this while clubbing, it can be bribery. Come out of this. Move out from this zone. Okay? Then, from there, we move on. While he was in the prison, is the time he interpreted the dream. His time came. Right? So you need to have patience to wait for your moment. Just like Joseph, he interpreted the dream to king, and he even told the king how to manage economic downtime. So wait for your moment. When your moment comes, you get your job done and you see how you're moving ahead. This is true. You need to have the patience to wait for the right moment. All right? So take control of your happiness. I want to relate three persons whom I know how they manage this situation. First, my own cousin who was working for a big organization, very highly paid executive, until one day, just recently sometimes, he realized his weight was dropping. He realized he had no time for family. He was missing a lot of things and health was not good. He decided to call it a day. He resigned and he got a job in another small organization, got salary, downsized in his salary, but he's much more happier. He got more time with his family. He got more time with his outdoor activities. I look at him, he looks so fit and he looks so healthy. Now, I have another friend called Anthony. Anthony leads a team, a big team, and Anthony's got a character to get things done on the spot. That was Anthony. So he was moving on. He had no time, same thing. He don't have time for family, no time for his own activities. He was just busy working, trying to make the goals, trying to meet the target, until one day he had hypertension. Doctors advised him about his health. He sat down, he thought about it, he took a position in the same company, in a low ranking position with less responsibilities, and then he also made some good investment and he had some good return from the investment. He's much more happier, much more healthier. He's got a good quality times with his family. He's got good quality time for himself. You can look at him, he's always smiling. Number three, another friend of mine who owns a trucking business. He grew so big that one day he realized, as he was every year he would buy new trucks, and then he realized the more he increased the trucks, the more stress he had, because you need to look for drivers, the maintenance increase, he need to look for new customers, he need to get his payment in time. All this actually worked him up. So he sat down and planned his business. He downsized his trucks. He sold a lot of his trucks. He kept very simple, a little bit of trucks, less employees. He got quality customers who pays him in time, and he also nowadays invests in properties, and he has sold some good properties with good value. He made some money, and he's also much more happier. And he'd been traveling a few years back. He went overseas for holidays. That's how he managed his lifestyle. So take control of your happiness. That's very important. I want to take you to a superstar from Hong Kong who is famous in Hong Kong movies, and he also made some great movies in Hollywood, who found success. Today, he's getting more popular, not because of his movie, but because of his humble living. It is no other than Chow Yun Fat. Chow Yun Fat lives in an ordinary 3-room apartment. He doesn't live in a mansion with bodyguards or nothing. He lives like ordinary people. He will go to town with metro train in Hong Kong. He takes public transport. You can see him in the buses. He eats food in ordinary shop. He also will go to discounted store to buy his clothes, and he will always tell, I don't wear my clothing for someone else to see, but I wear my clothes for my own comfort, and money doesn't really bring happiness to me. I live a happy life nowadays. So you can always see him with his wife in the public. He's always time with his friends for selfies. He just walk around without bodyguard, no one there to guard him or nothing, but he lives a simple life that he chooses. Okay. So friends, whoever going through the same situation, you manage your lifestyle. Take control of your happiness. Own your own happiness. Doing things that you like to do that will bring happiness to you. Enjoy your journey every day. Celebrate along the way. Enjoy a good relationship with God. Enjoy your relationship with yourself. And then you'll enjoy a relationship with your family and friends. So whoever is watching this video, I pray and I also believe and I hope you take your time, sit down and take control of yourself. And I hope this video will be a blessing to you. And until I see you all in my next video, shalom and be blessed. Good night.